welcome Edwina to the Fully Sanctified In Touch With podcast.
Thank you, Charlotte. It's so great to be here.
It's great to have you back, and particularly to talk about a fantastic new category, which is our cleansing launch.
Absolutely, and I'm so excited to tell you, our BAs, what our advertising plan is to drive traffic to your counters.
So exciting, because obviously our beauty advisors have learnt their ePro, they are very well prepared, and they know exactly how to greet their customers and how to introduce them to these new cleansers. But what they don't know is what you've told them before they've even arrived.
And that's such a good point, Charlotte, because we know that the consumer journey isn't linear. She's probably doing a bit of research online, maybe flipping through a magazine, before she even comes up to your counters. So my job is to really convince her that she should be asking you about cleansers, which does half the job for you. And your job is to close the sale.
I think they're more than up to that task.
Absolutely, absolutely. The sales figures have been brilliant. Well done, guys. Really challenging December, and you really knocked it out of the park.
So tell us, Edwina, what are your plans? So how are you going to communicate with these customers? What are they going to be seeing? What are they going to be exposed to that's going to really get them fired up and get them coming into our counters and so excited to ask questions potentially, or just confirm which cleanser might be right for them?
Well, what was so exciting, Charlotte, about this campaign is there are so many different stories to tell. Of course, we have the beautiful Domaine Clarence, where we're growing our alpine herbs ourselves in the French Alps. How gorgeous is that? We also know that cleansers is a really great recruitment category because the price point is low and there's a low barrier to purchase. There's low risk with a cleanser. So what we set out to do from an advertising perspective is to separate our audience into two categories. The first category is the people who we want to retain. All of your loyal customers who've been coming to Clarins and buying our cleansers for years. We want to make sure that they know that we have new and improved formulas and that they can still enjoy the most efficacious, most luxurious experience with our cleansers going forward. The second category, of course, is recruitment, because we want to put more people in the top of the funnel, give you more leads, and have more people walking up to counter who may not have considered Clarins before.
That's the exciting part, isn't it?
Yes.
New customers coming in.
New customers. Discovering us. And let's sell them a cleanser, and then let's take them on a journey, and down the line sell them a double serum, maybe an anti-aging moisturizer, maybe a body product.
There's all sorts of possibilities once you've opened the door.
So many possibilities, and cleansers is really the great category to open that door. So the first thing we looked at when we think about those two audience groups we wanted to look at, retention and recruitment. We know, based on social listening and based on research about what customers are looking for when they're going to purchase beauty products, is that they want to see genuine reviews. They want to hear from other people just like them. We often call them people like us, in terms of what did they like about the product and would they recommend it. So the first stage of our strategy was to partner with 3 different high-profile media publications to reach out to over 100 women, regular women just like your customers, who are trialing our products for 2 weeks, and then we'll be posting reviews on our retailer sites. What this means is that when the consumer is shopping, looking on the internet, researching best oil cleanser, she is going to hopefully see a review of one of our new cleansers, and that will further convince her to walk up to your counters and at least ask about the product, if not be ready to make a purchase, which is the dream. But we know that you guys really are the ones that drive those sales and close the deal for us.
They're the ones that turn dreams into reality.
Yes, indeed.
So we definitely want them to be well equipped to be able to do that. And I think also it's important for our beauty advisors to read the reviews so that they can pick up on just languaging from genuine customers that might just really get that conversation started in the right way.
Absolutely.
So thank you for that.
Oh my goodness, it's my pleasure. So reviews, huge part of what we're doing. The second part of it will be really through our PR and influencer strategy. We know that PR and influencers have a huge influence, if you'll forgive the pun, on consumers when they're making their decision to purchase. So we'll be partnering with a series of influencers who will be not only trying the product themselves, but also posting about it in a way that looks really aspirational and aesthetically pleasing. Because who wouldn't want a beautiful Clarins cleanser on their beauty cabinet?
Oh my goodness, inspired by, as we said, the purity of the French Alps.
Absolutely. There are so many stories that we can tell about the French Alps, about the lack of outer packaging, the plastic in the main
Yes.
carton being, of course, 25% post-consumer recycled packaging. So many stories that we'll be using our influencers and our editorial partners to really amplify for us.
Such an important point. I mean, there are, as you say, so many messages for the cleansers, from the formulations, the way that the herbs and plant extracts are actually grown, the way, where they're grown, not just how they're grown. There's so much that customers are interested in hearing about, because traceability of ingredients is really important to everyone these days. So the fact that we control that production cycle from the growing through to the formulating is such a lovely story. And again, it just inspires more trust.
It really does, and I think you've hit the nail on the head, Charlotte. It inspires trust. We know that the consumers who have been coming to you for years, they know you and love you, and if you suggest a new cleanser for them, they will absolutely buy it. But we also have to remember that there are new consumers who'll be coming up to counter who don't yet have that relationship with you. So if we're able to show a level of authenticity about the traceability and the way that we grow and harvest our ingredients, it's really helping them with their decision-making process, because they feel there's already a level of trust there with the brand.
Well, I think also, given that if everyone needs a cleanser,
Absolutely.
like you put things on, you collect things during the day, you have to remove them. So everyone needs a really trustworthy cleanser that they can rely on and that they enjoy using. And as you said earlier, it brings people to the next level in their beauty routine. What next do they want to, this beautifully clean skin, what do they want to put on it?
Absolutely.
Let's hope it's Clarins.
Well, we can only do so much, so we look to you guys. I always like to use the phrase show, show, show until they say no, no, no.
Absolutely. And we've got so much to say as well during the show.
Most definitely.
So I think that's where a beauty advisor really comes into their own, and that is in the consultation and the storytelling of how these cleansers came to be. So obviously it starts with you, but it definitely culminates in this crescendo at counter, where you, as a beauty advisor, you bring your expertise to life in front of the customer. And that's the experience that they travel to a store to experience.
Well, the final piece, of course, we've talked about reviews, we've talked about editorial coverage and influencers, and the final piece, have you ever been online shopping or on Google and there is a little ad that just follows you around wherever you go until you think,
So much
I
so.
need to check this out. We've put a lot of our investment in what we call digital display media, which are those little ads that follow you around online. So what that means is we're constantly reminding the customer, Clarins has some new cleansers. It's purity straight from the mountains. She might be walking through David Jones and be like, I'll just pop into Clarins. You are in front of her saying, welcome to Clarins, can I show you these new cleansers? They are grown with alpine herbs straight from the French Alps. Ding, 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 you've just verified something that she's already seen subconsciously in the back of her mind. So already there's a link there, and you're just reinforcing her decision to purchase. So as Charlotte, you so eloquently put, we are nothing without you, and we hope that we can be of service to you as well. It is very symbiotic, but our job really is to plant the seed, and then your job is to validate her decision. And again, as I said, close that sale.
It all comes back to the French Alps, doesn't it?
Yes,
really?
all roads lead to the
Planting
French Alps.
seeds, flourishing and growing, and ending up in a really, really happy customer, someone who has verified all of the messages that they've received and turned it into an experience in their bathroom that has been informed by you, because they feel, wow, this is right for me, it's the right choice of cleanser, and they are happy and they come back to you for more, unassisted, because they're actually driven by their experience. Now, of course, you can intervene in that, because you can invite them back and get them to experience more by giving them greater consultative experiences in the future. But certainly it all begins with a seed.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Edwina.
Can we add an addendum, or have
Yes.
we gone too quick? Have we talked about TerraCycle?
We haven't.
So, as some of you will know, in your downtown doors, we have purchased some recycling
Yes.
boxes. we will be talking about these in our advertising strategy. And the program is that a customer can bring in any cleanser or toner from any brand, hand it into you to be responsibly recycled, and then they will receive a T&D size sample of our new cleansers. Why is this important? It's bringing people up to your counter when there's no obligation to buy. It's removing that barrier to approaching the counter because it's obligation free. I'm just coming in to get my free sample. But once they're there, whether they come and grab the sample and leave or whether they sit down with you, you've still had that first touch interaction and you've put the product in their hands. Now a T&D sample is not going to last them forever, and we know they're going to fall in love with these cleansers. So see it as an opportunity for them to come back. They might not purchase at that first touch, but you've planted that seed and they will definitely be coming back to purchase from you if you give them good service, which we know you guys always do.
And I think with the partnership between us and MyC, because MyC obviously helps to prompt you to follow these customers up. You're giving them samples, you're showing generosity, you're sharing knowledge, and MyC does all the heavy lifting for you because it will help you to invite them back, remind you that they need to be invited back, and get them back at your counter to replenish the full size and also go onwards in their beauty journey with you in partnership. So thank you so much for
Charlotte,
today's
thank you.
information. I hope you will not be a stranger to the In Touch With podcast.
I hope so too. And remember guys, if this is all a little bit much, there will be a full recap of our advertising program in your January and February updates.
And they are part of all of your educational tools. So thank you very much for your attention to today's podcast. We really welcome any feedback that you have for us and things that you may want to see in the future from head office team members who have lots of insights and information to share with you. But for now, it's over to you with the cleansers and the launch of the beginning of the year. Thanks so much, ladies, and let's put our masks on and get out there.